Ships, and he wants to have more public-private partnerships to help provide housing assistance. Anti-poverty advocates are skeptical. They note that the Trump administration wants to cut HUD's budget next year by more than $6 billion. Pam Fessler, NPR News, Washington.
Stocks showed relatively robust gains today on some stronger private sector jobs numbers. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 135 points to 21,144. The Nasdaq up 48 points. This is NPR.
With Bruce out and Guru in lands unknown, it's just this one techie at Studio A. But have no fear, at least one of my co-hosts will join me. So Trump gets us out. What does Tech World think? WWDC, what might we see? Plus, hopefully, your calls coming up next.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, Technologic. Technologic.
Live from studios in Self Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
Welcome into the Hey Techies Show. And I welcome in my wonderful co-host tonight. Yes, you guessed it, the one and the only. He was able to join me from places unknown by anyone but himself. The lovable Guru. Wow, Guru, how are you doing?
Well, how are you doing, Michael?
Oh, I'm fine. I've got my eyeballs everywhere but where it probably needs to be. If you watch the video camera tonight, you may see some weird stuff going on because I'm alone in Studio A, so there's no telling what may happen. Absolutely no telling. And if you were listening to NPR, John Kerry, of all people, told us we had fake news. I mean, hilarious. I mean, it's lurch.
Hey, that's breaking news, folks. That's the first time we've ever heard about fake news.
Oh, my goodness. He is really hysterical. And, of course, there is news tonight on all kind of fronts. We got tons of tech news. Guru has a story. I've got a story. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. How about you, Guru? How was yours?
Oh, it's fantastic.
See there. Fantastic. Yes, we have Guru via Skype tonight, and you can't see him, but you certainly can hear him, and he's got a pretty good story. It almost didn't happen. We had some weird stuff going on where he's at. That I believe where he's at is actually possessed, folks.
It's not possessed.
It is.
It's just
possessed.
Using a different setup, and I mean, I can go into it if people want to be bored to death, but we pulled it out somehow, and it's working. Sorry you can't see me, but at least you can hear me. I know that makes some of our fans very happy.
Okay.
And I've got the peanut gallery here, too, chuckling at me. You may hear them from time to time.
The peanut gallery chuckling at you?
I've got an audience of one watching me
Well,
do this via Skype.
As you did hear, my name is Michael, and we have Guru, our lovable co-host, as I said, and we are live tonight, and we will take your call, 256-782-5600. If I can answer the phone tonight. Guru normally does that, so I'm going to have to see how that's going to work. He may have to cover while I quietly mute the mic and answer the phone. So we'll see. He can kind of see me, so and I'm going to try to keep my eye on the phone. But anyway, so glad to have you in. I have gotten an email today, actually, from probably our most loyal listener, Jason, and he was asking how the weekend went, how Memorial Day weekend went. And I assume his went well. So anyway, but I had a pretty cool one. I finally was able to get up to where I wanted to go and over the weekend. And actually, it was on Tuesday. I had to take an extra day off. But I found me a car I like.
Oh, got you some new wheels.
I got me some new,
Nice.
well, new to me. They're new to me wheels. So they are
Okay.
new to me wheels, but they're used wheels.
Well, I thought you were about to say you bought an iPhone.
Oh, no, no. No, no, no. I think there would be more shocking news before that kind of news ever came from my lips. Although I would not be negative to an iPhone. I could use an iPhone.
Okay.
It's just not what I use. Plus, I don't want all the payments right. I'm about to pay mine off, so I just want to live with that for a while.
Yeah.
And,
Good luck. The cell phone companies want you to keep buying
Oh,
phones.
sure they do. But as long as mine does what it needed to do, and it's still doing that, and hopefully those of you listening tonight, yours is doing what you need to do. But anyway, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and Guru and I plan to cover it. And if you're watching the video tonight, it is a different look. It's really up in my face, so to speak. I'm a little closer than I want to be. And,
You can see the studio from the other angle.
yes, you can. You can see the block wall there and the studio from the other angle. And really, if you would be able to see Guru great. I'm still trying to figure out how to get a better angle. There is a better angle over here we could do, and in my mind, I'm still trying to work all the details out. But we may get it there one day. So who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. So Guru's headed out somewhere.
Yes, I'm hitting the road,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you where I'm at right now. I'm actually at a hotel near the Atlanta airport.
Highland.
I'm getting on a flight tomorrow, and you'll learn more about that next week, because where I'm going to try to call in at least through Skype or telephone or something, depending on my connectivity, and I'll try to join you for at least a few minutes.
Right now, he's so busy he has to mess with Velcro while he's on the show.
Yeah,
He's tidying up while he's on the show. He's a multitasker.
That's right. You should have seen me trying to grab cables and grab stuff, trying to get stuff to
Yeah.
work for this. Like, it's almost the equivalent of sometimes how we get thrown into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had to throw this together to get it to work. In my mind, I thought it was going to work, but it didn't work the way I anticipated. So I had to go to plan like
Yeah. So we
F.
had a little.
See, I went through A, B, C, D, E, and I had to go to that plan F. Like
Right.
This is about it's either this or like Michael's doing it solo.
Yeah, I could do. I've done it. I could do it.
Yes, you have. And you've done it quite well.
Well, but
I'm
I
about
had
to pull
some
it off.
I had some content that night, so that helped out. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, actually, pardon me, gracious. Let's see here. I had this pulled up here, and if I can get, I'm having to go. And it's another thing. I'm having to do this iPad. I'm doing the iPad thing tonight.
Well, don't blame Apple.
Well, I'm not. I'm using all the other devices I own to get all this other stuff going. You know.
Okay. All right.
But
Just don't be blaming Apple.
Oh, I can blame Apple if I want to, right?
No,
That's
you can't.
fair.
I'm sorry. That's not
Sure
allowed.
it is. Hey, get this one now. I don't know if you heard about this one, Guru. You're talking about some really dumb thieves. Did you see where some thieves tried to get into an ATM and they were using a torch to try to get into the safe area of the ATM outside of a building now? Try to cut a hole and they burn up the money. While trying
Oh, man.
Yes.
Well, yeah, paper does ignite.
They
So,
burn up the
yeah.
money.
And it probably ignites at a lot lower point than it takes to cut the metal.
This happened in Everett, Washington.
That's the home of Boeing.
It is? Everett, Washington?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. Yeah, how about that? That's a little tidbit of the day.
I don't know who these folks actually work for. They might not work for anybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, man. So it says here, in the process of doing so, trying to cut the cash box open, they accidentally set the money on fire. Boy, that's some hot money there.
Yeah, very hot. Drop it like it's hot.
And so I think that they're still looking for them. Well, I don't know. This is old, so I mean, it's not too old. Let's see. What's yesterday? So who knows? They might have caught it by now. They are asking for, let's see, about $6,000 up to for information to find these cats. But man, one of them's wearing a monster jacket in this picture here. And we'll have that in the show notes. But anyway, I just thought, right off the bat, I thought it was funny. It's just odd. Why would, I guess if you're going to rob, you're not really all that brilliant anyway, but still.
If they use that kind of effort to some good things, we'd be a whole lot better off in this world.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, no question about that one. Yeah. So your Surface wouldn't work today.
I think what it is, I was pushing the limits to it. I had a USB hub plugged into it, and I was running Skype, so it's streaming, and it was plugged in. It needed to be charged, and what was happening is it was not charging. It was plugged in, and Windows said it's plugged in, but it says not charging.
Right.
It was not getting enough juice. So I'm thinking, was something wrong with the plug that I'm plugging into? I was plugging into a different plug. It's the same thing. So we went to this alternate plan where I'm using my iPhone to Skype, and now the Surface is charging.
There you go.
So it couldn't handle Hey Techies running the whole thing off my Surface 3.
Oh,
but the Surface 3 is still good. I got the show notes. I got our little internal notes pulled up and stuff, and I can pull web stuff up. So, it's better than nothing. So we'll just go on with it like this. But yeah. But I also had a problem with the internet here. It was running very, very slow. Well, let me back up. We got time?
Oh, yeah.
We're
good.
No.
No. We make our own time here.
So I walk in, and I'm like, well, I want to use hard. I talked to you before. I said, I'm going to try to use hardwired internet if it's available. Some hotels have it, some don't. So I get in here. There's a plug on the desk. So I pull out my USB Ethernet adapter, plug it in. It's not connected. Like, the jack is not hot. It's not plugged in at the other end. So I called the front desk, and I asked the lady, said, does the hardwired internet actually work in the room? Is it supposed to work? Because some of these buildings, they renovate and they take the stuff out and just use wireless. She said, yeah, it's supposed to work. I said, well, it's not working in my room. She said, well, come down to the front desk, and I'll give you a code you can use. I'm like, sure. So I go down there, and she gives me a code I can use. I guess it's for the fast internet, the faster, because you have to pay extra usually for the faster wireless. But I try to connect I've already connected my Surface to the free Wi-Fi. So like the system they use to connect, it's how I was connecting to the internet. It wouldn't let me go back and put in a code to get faster internet. So and I will give the lady here credit. She tried her best to fix it, but she's not an IT professional, and she tried to troubleshoot it. But I went down to the front desk with my device, and she was trying to help other people too, and she apologized, and she was great. When I finally told her, hey, I'm an IT professional, and I can't, I think it's something something that's out of our control, she just laughed and said, I think you're right. I said, I think so. I said, it sounds like your corporate IT folks have got it kind of set up a certain way, and you can't undo it. I said, is there anything you can do?
Right.
I've done everything I can do. I said, okay, well, I'll just have to deal with it. I appreciated her time and her effort. So I'll give kudos, and I don't have her name, but at this hotel, the Hampton Inn here by the Atlanta airport, she did. She was very helpful. So I highly recommend that the service has been excellent. So
I do want to go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying, how some of these IT people, they just love them or you hate them. No, I'm just kidding. But
okay.
It's no fault of the people running the place. They're at the mercy of their corporate folks.
I do want to say, though, if you are listening or trying to listen to us via regular terrestrial, I guess you could say, radio waves, the
old school.
Yeah. Our station is having a little trouble. We had a device that is broken, I understand. I haven't heard it. I didn't realize we were having this issue, but the radio station is it's just garbled. My understanding is it's sort of distorted. I think you can hear it some, but it's got a distortion. And so we're sorry. We are sorry about that, but we hope that you will stick with us through the next 2 hours, and we will really, really, really enjoy having you.
Listen to our garbled voices for 2 hours.
Yeah,
please.
or what I was getting at, you can go online and listen online. You can go to HeyTechieShow.com and be on the Hey Techie Show with us, joining us. In I don't think I have the chat pulled up. Sorry about that.
I got it pulled up.
Okay, Guru has a chat pulled up, so that would be great. He's taking care of that tonight, which is good because I need like 3 more hands, but. Anyway, but We will be right back after this quick break. Hope all of you are doing well this evening. Hey, Techies Show.
Don't have a kernel panic. Hey Techies will be right back.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. I think this was for Bruce.
Yep. We miss you, Bruce.
Yes, we do miss old Brucey. But anyway, he's in places unknown as well. So, but me and the Guru are here. So if you want to call 256-782
5600.
and you can be on the Hey Techies Show, and we would be glad to take your call.
That's right. We will. Or email us questions at heytechieshow.com. You can go to the YouTube live stream and you can put your question in the chat window. I'm actually watching that tonight, not trying to run the board. So join us.
No,
So you don't have to hear us talk about random tech news
we're gonna
and fake news.
Yeah, like fake news that you just probably heard, and you'll probably hear again coming up in the bottom of the hour break. Well, actually, it'll be at the top of the hour, I guess. It should be at the 8 o'clock hour break. There'll be another NPR segment where I'm sure you'll hear John Kerry again say that Donald Trump and the rest of everybody else is fake news. So that should be interesting. Hey, Guru, did you know that NOAA, you know who NOAA is, right? NOAA.
Yeah, I know a Noah.
You know
I know
NOAA.
a couple. I know several Noahs.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, they have predicted, by the way, Guru, they finally come out with their 2017 Atlantic hurricane season outlook.
Oh, that's right.
You know, they name these things. They do this every year, and I'm telling you, I'm just marking it down, okay? I'm going to say this, and I hopefully will keep it. Well, I'm going to maybe get the show notes off, or rather get the audio and save it, because here's what they're saying. Once again, okay, they say they're going to be naming storms 11 to 17 named storms. 5 to 9 of those are going to be hurricanes, and 2 to 4 are going to be majors in this season.
What gets me is how can they can't tell what the temperature is going to be, in a week from now, but yet they can tell me how many hurricanes are going to happen over the course of 4
okay,
months.
so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have fun with this. I mean, if they're going to do this, we're the Tech Show, the Hey Techies, because we check on. We had James Spann on the show, so
That's right.
We look at things like this. Okay, so we're going to mark this date down. It's June 1st, correct,
Yeah.
Guru? Episode
Correct.
95, the Hey Techies Show. We're going to keep a sharp eye on this, and we're going to see how close they are to right. If they are, fine and dandy. But here's some of the names. Oh, boy, I'm going to have trouble, I guarantee you. Guru, Arlene, Brett, these are not bad. Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, Gert. I can hear it.
Gert.
Hurricane Gert. How about Harvey? Irma.
Harvey.
I believe this is Jose.
Jose. Yeah, Jose, yeah.
Katia. Katia?
Katia.
Katia, sorry. Katia.
Katia.
Of course it is. I'm sorry, Katia. Lee. Maria. Nate.
Nate.
Ophelia. That would be interesting. Tell your partner in crime back there there may be a hurricane if they get up to the O's called Ophelia.
Ophelia.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Felipe, maybe.
Felipe.
Yeah,
I
Rena,
guess.
Sean. Oh, there
Don't
we
ask
go.
me how. Don't ask me how to pronounce names. I butcher everybody's name.
No, you don't. Tammy, Vince, and Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah,
Whitney
if I
Houston.
butchered the name, call in and correct me. Love to talk to you on the radio. But anyway, this has always interested me about the stuff going on with NOAA for many years. And like Guru says, they come out with these predictions, and many of the years they're not right.
But then they'll do a prediction, and then midway through the season, we're going to revise our prediction.
No. They're not going to get Microsoft deals. This is not Microsoft. This is not. We need. What do you call it? I say it all the time. Expiration dates on their statements. They don't get that. They don't get expiration dates at the Hey Techies
they'll
show.
predict one thing.
I know
and
that.
then midway through the season, say, "Oh, we're revising our prediction because obviously we didn't know what we were doing when we made the prediction at first.
What
We're
they're
going to change it."
What they're really saying is we're just guessing. We're just
Just ask me. Just ask me what I think. I'll
Right.
just tell you. I don't know.
I have
There'll
no.
be between 1 and 100 name storms. Okay,
Yeah, right.
I'm covered. We're good.
Yeah, that's right.
Be prepared just in case.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. 5 to 9 of them hurricanes, as I said, 2 to 4 category 3 or higher. So that's what they're considering major, 3 or higher.
Yeah, that's right.
They're saying that 45% chance of the hurricane season that begins June 1st being above normal, a 35% chance of normal, and a 20% chance of below normal. According to this article, which I got from Cron.com by Harvey Rice. Thank you, Harvey. It looks like they're saying there's going to be an average season is 12 named storms. 6 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. That's an average season, according to NOAA. So we'll see. As I said, we'll write down the day, which we have, June 1st, and we're going to see. Because I think today starts the season.
Yeah, June 1st.
Oh, boy, they wait to the last minute, don't they?
I think I saw something a few weeks ago that they were already talking about this. I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sure this is old, and somebody
this is probably the second revision since the first one. You know, next week they'll have another revision.
Could be. I guess that's normal for NOAA there.
I'm not trying to be critical of NOAA. It's hard to predict the stuff in advance. It's hard to track someone. They're over in Africa, coming off the coast, and they're trying to figure out where they're going. I mean, you know, it's a lot of pressure on them to try to forecast it, because if they say, well, it's coming to South Florida, like millions of people got to prepare, evacuate, and
sure.
If it makes jog to the left or the right, then it could affect a whole other group of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
So I respect our meteorologists big time.
Hey, you had something on here that I was pretty interested in.
What is
I don't know
that?
if you got it pulled up. Chipotle data breach. Did you read much on that, or I didn't?
Yeah.
I didn't really know about this.
Yeah, the Chipotle restaurants, which I don't think there's any in our area, media WLJS listening area, but I think there's some over in Birmingham and Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But they've had, if you remember from 2015-16, they had some issues with food safety. Well, they had to shut the restaurants down.
I do remember that.
You know, for training to make sure everybody understood how to properly, all the food safety stuff.
Right.
But now they're taking on the chin again. This time it's your data. So the company is saying that hackers stole customer payment data from most of its 2,250 restaurants, most of those 2,200 restaurants, between March 24th and April 18th. Reuters has reported that the stolen data includes account numbers and internal verification codes, which is data that can potentially be used to drain debit card accounts or clone credit cards. So it's only limited to card information, so no other personal information was compromised. But still, the prevalence of debit cards in our world, we've talked about it here. I don't personally like using debit cards when I go somewhere to shop. I rather use a credit card to get a little more protection. Anyway, so hackers, again, have stolen a bunch of credit cards.
Nice.
And this time, Chipotle is the victim. and us as consumers.
Yes, certainly us as consumers are victim.
And Chipotle's got a statement on their website, and we'll put a link to the article and this Chipotle webpage in the show notes. And they give you some more details about which restaurants at what time period. So you can go, if you've been to a Chipotle restaurant recently, you can go back and refer to this list to see if yours was potentially affected.
Hmm.
And then they also provide some information about protecting yourself through credit reports, which this is not really a credit report issue. Like, they didn't get your social, your date of birth, but they, I guess, just to kind of put that out there as kind of a PSA, public service announcement. But it's definitely, if you've used your card in a Chipotle restaurant sometime between March 24th and April 18th, would dig in a little more to make sure your information did not potentially get stolen, because if it did, you need to contact your banks and have them
Right,
use
exactly
cards.
right. Mm.
Yeah, we'll have all this in the show notes, so you can go back and refer to that. And it's going to be at heytechieshow.com.
That's right. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And it's always, it seems like we have hack of the week. I mean, it's every week somebody else can get hacked, and I hate that because we're all victims as consumers.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
But again, Hey Techies advice, at least the Guru's advice. If, most of us have debit cards with our bank, and that's great and wonderful. But personally, I only use my debit card at an ATM that's owned by my bank. Anywhere else, I use a credit card. You have a little more protection. If somebody does get that number, it doesn't wipe your account dry. It's sitting out there, yayo balance, but you can call and those will get instantly removed if you didn't do them. So,
right.
And I know some people don't believe in credit cards, and there's people that out there tell you don't need them, and that's fine and dandy. But I think everybody needs at least one credit card for this type of stuff, and you just don't charge up a big bill and don't have the money to pay for it. That's my personal thinking there.
Kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Just like we're kind of a big deal.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Hey, did you hear about this? Did you remember about it's not quite a couple of weeks ago, it's recent news that supposedly some hackers were threatening Disney about stealing a movie and releasing it.
Right.
Well, according to the latest news, and I guess this is May 25th, so it's a few days old. This is from Variety.com. And Bob Iger, of course, the chief of Disney, has confirmed, or says he's confirming, that it's all a hoax.
Fake news.
Yes. Headline, Disney CEO Bob Iger, hacker threat about stolen movie was a hoax. Totally fake.
Fake news.
So they say they were not hacked at any point. According to this, we had a threat of a hack of a movie being stolen. We decided to take it seriously, but not to react in the manner in which the person who was threatening us had required. We don't believe that it was a real, and nothing has happened, according to this. According to the article.
All he should have said is fake news, and you could have walked away.
Now, related...
You are fake news.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Now, related to that... Yeah, no, related to this, okay, what was supposedly hacked, and from all I remember is let's see, it says here, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. That's going to go out May 26th, and some of the others were The Last Jedi. They're saying that's December 15th, and Cars 3, I think, is June 16th coming up, But just a little note on that, just to extend the story a little bit. Did you know that actually Pirates 5, now it's up to 5, they cleared.
Really? Wow.
According to an article on the 29th, they cleared $28 million in the weekend ending the holiday weekend.
Wow. $28 million.
Yeah, let's see. Wait a minute. 78. I'm sorry. Pardon me. That was 78. Clear 78. Let's see. According to that article, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tales make up ground with a $208.4 million launch. That was for the entire weekend. I think It says, that is weird because this is really written weird. Once again, I have two different things. So, let's see, the final 4 days, haul of 78.2 million. It didn't make up ground overseas. Oh, okay. See, they don't really write this too well. Of course. 208.4 million overseas. So domestically, it looks like it did about a little over 78 million here in top
just
78
million.
Yeah,
it's
208
just
million.
Pocket change.
Yeah. I actually thinking they were expecting more than that. But that is one of the films, as I understood it, that could have been one that was going to be held for ransom. And Disney claims it never happened. So I think I don't know if we covered that the other one day. I thought we had talked something about Disney was being held for ransom.
Yeah, we did talk about
Might
that
have
on a
mentioned
previous
it.
show.
But this supposedly is the end result. Nothing happened. So
nothing to see here. Move on.
Yeah, apparently so. Move on.
Fake news.
Right.
Just call Donald Trump and have him do a tweet. This is fake
Hey,
news.
this is interesting, Guru. Wait a minute.
What's that?
It says it earned another 39 overseas on Monday for a total of 326. It included a hefty 92.3 million in China.
Wow.
Big in China.
That's right. They like the Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously.
Now, of course, this article talks about how that Baywatch did not do so well. That's real shocking. I got to tell you, that's just really shocking to me.
It's real popular how these throwbacks to these older
but it's
franchises.
The blooming thing's rated R.
Well, that's part of it too.
I mean, come on.
Not family friendly.
Yeah.
You kind of limit your audience to start with. But while you're talking about that, these reboots and stuff, they got a new Star Trek series coming out soon on TV on demand. And we covered that when the news first broke. It's probably been several months ago when it first got announced. But now I'm seeing Facebook ads and Facebook talking about people posting it and all that. And again, you have to pay extra to see this. And I'm a huge Star Trek fan, but I'm not paying for CBS on demand just so I can watch another Star Trek series.
Oh yeah,
people are flaming CBS. They're like, "Hey, why can't we watch this on Netflix?"
Huh? Well, that's not hard to figure out.
Well, I mean, they want all the money. They don't want to give it to Netflix because they have to share revenue with Netflix, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I totally understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I know they're making a lot of money, and you could say, "Oh, they're not hurting," and I guess that's true. But the television business as a whole is hurting.
Their whole revenue model's changing dramatically.
Yeah, we talked about that. But when you got ESPN hurting, then a lot of places are hurting. If you think if ESPN's hurting, there's a lot of places hurting. So.
Yeah. I mean, within 5 years ago, ESPN was one of those top cable networks. Now you've got the top cable networks or news networks, and not because of news necessarily, but I think people are shifting their focus away on that traditional media, and they're just the people who tend to watch ESPN and stuff are now just streaming everything.
Well, there's certainly some truth to that.
Yeah, and you can debate the whole, mainstream media, and we're not going to get into that because it'll turn into political discussion. And we'll say the politicking for another show on WLJS.
Well, your connection seems to be holding up pretty good. It tried to drop out there just for a second.
I apologize.
No, what do you have to apologize for? It just is what it is. We are going to cut to a little break here, and when we come back, we'll move right along to something else once I catch my breath, whenever that is. The Hey Techies Show. Be right back.
HeyTechiesShow.com. Open 24/7, as long as we don't forget to pay the bill.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
This is 91.9 FM, WLJS Jacksonville, your cure for common radio.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have everyone with us tonight. And the Guru is still here, as far as I know.
I'm here.
Cool. Well, that's great. Well, if you want to be on the Hey Techies Show, 256-782.
5600.
And you can be on the Hey Techies Show. And if I miss your call or you call and nobody answers, just keep calling back, and my eyeballs will eventually see someone calling. So it's kind of hard.
Normally, Michael has straight line of sight to the phone.
And I do
he
still,
has to
but
get
I'm
my attention. I'm running the board.
Yeah.
Now, he's doing like 5 things at once. So,
Oh, yeah.
Please. But better yet, just send us an email with your question. And
Yeah.
unless you want to talk, of course, we'll take your question on the air. But you can always email us question@heytechieshow.com, and that could be after the show, too. So if you think about it tomorrow, hey, I got a question for those folks on Hey Techies, just send us an email. We'll talk about it on the next show.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from our listeners.
Sure. I agree with that. All right, so I noticed there's another one on our little show notes here. An apple. Pardon me. It looks like got blitzed by the U.S. over something. I guess I missed this one.
Yeah,
which is not unusual.
I saw this come across, I think, yesterday at some point. Yes, a CNET article, and basically this boils back to the national security orders that are issued to Apple by U.S. law enforcement. This is the stuff about terrorism, fighting, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the number of these orders through the national security letters that the FBI can issue without a judge signing off on it. Oh, this thing's starting to talk to me. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I pulled up the article. In the video
yes, it does that.
I guess I need to mute this device. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So the number of these national security letters and requests have doubled to about 6,000 in the second half of 2016 compared to the first half of 2016. Apple disclosed this in its biannual transparency report. Of course, there's all the critics on both sides. We want to be protected from terrorism. That's one side of the argument. Of course, the EFF, is against that because of the whole violating citizens,
yes.
right to privacy.
EFF,
we can debate that all we want, but just the fact is that the number in the second half of 16 doubled compared to the first half of 16. That's pretty. It's pretty interesting statistic. We'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's more in this article about it, but I don't want to turn it into a big, political discussion or debate over privacy. We'll leave that for Bruce to talk about. But just what caught my eye was the number of requests have doubled compared to the first part of the year.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Hey, there is something interesting here. If you read it, and I was looking at something else, it says, I guess Apple says it gave data in regard to 79% of global requests. Wow. So it looks like it was compliant, according to this, like you said. This article is interesting. There's some pretty interesting information in here. It gave data in regard to 79% of the global request and 83% of all the U.S. orders.
If you listen to the news media, all I talk about is the few times where Apple's refused. But apparently they're very compliant.
Well,
in regard to it.
I think where they're compliant is in information that they don't have to break into a phone to get, like information that they're required by law to have
Right,
on
stuff that's in the cloud, like their the
or
mobile,
right or
their
something they
cloud stuff.
collect.
Yeah,
I'm
metadata.
guessing that would be my. You're right.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, and probably the times where it's been declined is because it's only at physical device. And again, they've drawn that line in the sand. They are not creating backdoors to your encrypted data on your device.
Right.
And we've that the whole San Bernardino iPhone from several months ago is the most widely known of
Sure.
that situation. But there's others, obviously. And I think most of those other ones they're not complying with are in that same category.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I've got another story
Okay.
here that sort of dovetails in this because it has to do with privacy. So this is from lifehacker.com, and it's back on the 26th. And get this headline, Guru. Zoom in on photos before handing someone your iPhone or your phone. It doesn't use, pardon me, your phone. And the writer of this is Nick Douglas. Now listen to how this is written. Nick writes, when you hand someone your phone to show them a picture, you should be able to trust them not to go swiping through your camera roll. But we live in a fallen world, and the worst violators of phone borrowing etiquette are older relatives and in-laws. The same people who you'd be most horrified to see your nudes, or so much worse, your 20 selfie outtakes.
You don't want to show those selfie outtakes.
Now, why is it? I mean, this cracks me up because the word in here assumed that as a norm, everybody has nudes on their phone. Nudes of themselves or others. Seriously. I mean, I just don't believe that that's a norm. I might be wrong.
I'm with you. I think that's not the norm.
I just don't believe it. Look, here's I guess this is really, it's not a really long article. I wouldn't even call it an article, at least what I've got here. Just zoom in a little on the photo before you hand over the phone. When the snoop tries to swipe, they'll just awkwardly bounce the picture around, buying you enough time to grab your phone back.
Those few extra seconds.
Listen to this. The experience will further cement their fear and distrust of technology, but at least your endless reel of rejected profile pics will remain your dirty little secret. Seriously. Seriously, this is a, I don't know.
Gosh, that's I'm just shaking my head over here, folks. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my head. Michael can see me shaking my head.
Anyway, I love this other part. You can either dedicate your life to meticulously organizing your photos into folders, yes, or continue keeping everything in one big camera roll and apparently follow a Reddit user. It'll be on the show notes, folks. You can follow it if you want to.
Yeah.
But I just think this is fascinating to me. A person's view of what is on what they are considering a majority. Well, they didn't say that, but they sure act like, hey, it's everybody's phone. Well, it's not on mine. So if you want to see my pictures, knock yourself out. You're probably going to get bored by most of them. I actually use mine for my phone for work a lot, and I take pictures of things that I can't see too well, so I can get closer to like serial numbers on the back of monitors and computers and things like that.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So I guess you could steal some serial numbers if that fancies you. I don't know.
It may fancy somebody.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought that dovetailed with the privacy stuff with Apple here and their situation.
Well, it's not related to this, but when you talked about the photos on the phone,
yes,
made me think of this. So last week I was at my place where I go get my hair cut, and I got there a few minutes early, and the lady who cuts my hair, she was finishing up with another lady, and of course I was sitting there patiently waiting, and I had my phone out. Obviously, that's what we do now is we just pull our phone out, and start flipping through whatever, email, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Anyway,
absolutely.
So the lady that was actually getting her hair finished up, she asked me a question. She saw my phone. I said, do you know much about phones? I said, yeah. Some people think I do. And she said, she was asking me. She said, well, I've got this iPhone. It's an iPhone 4S.
No.
Yes, yeah, quite old. And she said, it won't. I can no longer install updates. It says I don't have enough space. I said, yeah. I said, do you have a lot of pictures on your phone? Yeah, I've got some pictures. And I took it to the Apple store. Here's the kicker. So I took it to Apple store to ask what I could do. And guess what the Apple people told her?
No telling.
Buy a new phone.
Yeah, of course.
Just buy a new phone.
Yeah.
And I was just appalled by that.
No, that sounds right.
I'm an equal opportunity caller outer, and I've called out multiple companies. And at one time in the past, Apple would try to help you, and they may present you with multiple options. Yeah, one of those options is to buy a new phone. But, you can pull your pictures off your phone and save them to, like, your computer or something to get them off your device to free up space.
Or you could download the Photos app and upload them to Google it, back them up if you want to do that.
And I didn't go into that solution for this lady, but I offered my advice. I said, yeah, you can buy a new phone, but if you're not ready to purchase a new phone today, because now you're either going to pay for a big amount up front,
right? Exactly right.
Payment,
right.
I told her if you have a PC at home or a Mac, and she had a PC, I said you can hook your iPhone up to your PC and download your pictures.
Absolutely.
And get them off your device, and that'll free up space instantly. Especially, she said she had about 2,000 pictures. So I said, yeah, that'd free up a good bit of space. I said, now you can always buy a new phone, and you can transfer that stuff to that new phone. But I said, just some options there. And I even made a statement to her, I'm just appalled that Apple just basically said you had to buy a new device.
Yeah.
That's
not a surprise.
Well, it kind of floored me because Apple, they used to be famous for their customer service, and now they're just like everybody else, just like Best Buy, just like all the rest of them.
Well, but do you think that this might be? It could be where she went. I'm guessing different genius folks at your genius Apple store are different, act differently.
I mean, yeah, everybody's different. I mean, you call Hey Techies, we're going to give you some advice, but if you call another tech person, some of these other ones, they may say something totally different. I mean, that's it's our opinion. But Apple, they usually try to offer multiple solutions. I mean, yeah, buying new hardware is always going to could always fix it. But it's not necessarily the fix.
Yeah,
the best fix for you.
But even if that's the case, she's going to have to put it in cloud somewhere to sync it up to the next phone. I mean, one way or the other, she's still going to have this issue of not being able to get that. Wasn't that wasn't the solution.
Well, I explained to her if she bought a new phone and she bought it at the Apple store, they could help her move her stuff to her new phone. They would help with that. She just was trying to debate whether or not she wanted to spend $30 a month for a new device. I said, yeah, I mean that's a big investment. Be on the hook for that money every month for 3 years.
I mean, I don't know how many pictures were on the phone, but you got to figure some of them you don't want to move. I mean, you took them and you just want to back them up.
I understand, and I mean, I may be a little different in terms of this, but what I do is like, before I left out for this trip, I pulled every picture off my device.
Yeah, and
I saved them to my computer, but I'm also backing them up.
Yeah, right.
So that I have more than one copy is what I'm trying to say. I have more than one copy. And even if it's on your device, make sure you've got a backup of some sort, whether it's Google Photos, whether it's to the iCloud or whatever, because you never know if your device is stolen or if it just craps out and you're done, you lose everything. Because, I mean, like I told her, I said a lot of us have very precious, pictures on our phones of our children, our grandchildren, our, significant others, and you don't want to lose those. I think a lot of time just in general, I guess, take it for granted. Oh, it's on my phone, it's safe. Well, make sure it's safe. Have a backup. Again, we've preached that. I've lost count of times we preached it, but back it up. And I'm going to get off my soapbox now.
Oh, so much more fun with you on the soapbox.
Yep. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's airplanes flying over the hotel.
Oh, my goodness. We'll never get him back on the show, folks.
Yeah, sorry. I'm back.
No, we'll never get him back on the show.
They put me in a fourth floor room. I guess they knew I was the aviation geek, and I wanted to hear the planes fly overhead in addition to look out the window and see them.
Is that the top floor there?
That is the top floor, yes.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to look through our show notes here. and see if there's something else that I just want to that I can give a fair amount of time here. I've just got about we got some 7 minutes here, somewhere in the neighborhood.
We'll give you a tease for second hour. We've got a lot of rumors for the rumor segment.
Absolutely, we do have to have a big rumor.
We are
segment.
on the precipice or the cusp or whatever you want to call it. Use your insert synonym here. We're almost to Apple WWDC.
Yeah, I think
the
it's
Worldwide
next
Developers
week.
Conference. Yeah, it's next week. It's June 5th.
I think the big show's Monday, as a matter of fact. Believe.
I thought it was June 5th. Maybe I have my dates
Isn't
wrong.
that
But it's
Monday?
coming. It's
tomorrow's the
it is
2nd.
Monday.
Yeah,
that's right.
Monday's the big day.
So that'll be their big kickoff keynote, and it's turned into the press really watch it. This is a developers conference where people who develop for Apple products, iPhone, iPad, Mac OS,
Right.
go here to learn what's new, from Apple. But it's turned into, especially the first day, that first keynote, a huge media event.
Oh, sure.
And Apple's used that platform to release new products, and we've got a couple of rumors kind of related to WWDC and what Apple may announce.
Just a little side note along to WWDC. Do you know it's $1,700 to attend that?
I believe it.
Yeah, man.
Any of these major conferences are expensive.
I'm talking about the whole thing. Going to it is
I can believe it
$1,700.
because I've seen prices to attend conferences, and that's not surprising because there's a lot of expense to renting the exhibit space, and then everything you need. Like if you want chairs in the room, you pay for those. If you need audio video equipment, you have to pay for that. I mean, it gets very, very expensive. But for these companies that invest a lot into their development of apps and stuff for the Apple ecosystem, I mean, it's an investment. It's professional development for these technical folks that are, tasked with doing that as their job. Especially these sole proprietors that are writing apps for a living. I mean, but WWDC has gotten so popular. There's a lottery. Like not everybody who wants to go can go because they can only accommodate so many people.
Exactly.
So you have to go in and sign up to the lottery, and they'll draw people out. And I've talked to some people that go to the conference, the WWDC, because their job entails working with Apple iOS, and there'll be a department with 4 or 5 developers, and all of them have to try to put their name in for a pass, and at least 1 or 2 of them will get a ticket to go.
Right.
It's very important for them to go.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be watching your eyes for WWDC Monday, and we'll talk about what we've heard so far through the rumor mill here during the second hour.
Well, Guru was watching the skies, but I wonder, Guru, if you might look out your window there and see Paul Allen's colossal Strato launch plane. Did you know about
it?
Did you know about
I don't see it.
Did you know about his Strato launch plane?
His Strato launch. What kind of plane is that?
It is a dual fuselage.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I've got an article. It's listed in our show notes. It's from the Seattle Times. And it's interesting. It is a 250-ton airplane. And
how does that compare to?
Well, it tells down here.
Okay.
By the way, it measures 385 feet wingspan from end to end. So a comparison, an NFL field spans about 360 end to end feet.
It's powered by 6 used 747 engines.
Yes.
And a normal 747, for those who don't know, has 4 engines.
Now, I don't think it's finished, but for those of you who can't see it and maybe listening to us, picture a several toned colored car. That's what this thing looks like up close. Not rust colored, but just different type panels that the wings are like put together of different wings. I mean, it looks like they salvaged some things and put them together because I assume, that they will be painting this at some point, because an up close view of it, it looks odd. Looks like they just pasted it together. I know it's not pasted, but
it's got their Elmer's glue out.
Yeah.
But here, apparently, it'll carry about 250,000 pounds of fuel and a rocket payload of up to 550,000 pounds.
Yeah, I think the developer...
Or 275 tons, giving it a maximum takeoff weight of 1.3 million pounds, which is equal to the weight of a fully loaded Airbus A380, which is currently the largest commercial jetliner.
Yeah, I think
impressive.
it's supposed to be able to launch a rocket from it.
Yeah, they mentioned rocket in that piece I read, but yeah.
It's supposed to carry a rocket slung beneath the central part. Because it has to, apparently the flight deck is in the starboard fuselage. It's huge. It's enormous. They showed people it pulled out of the actual airplane hangar, and people standing around. They look like little ants.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that old the guy who years and years ago, he was a big flight enthusiast, but he came up with that duck airplane. I can't believe it. Some movie made about it too, and I can't believe it.
Something like Chuck Yeager?
No. Long before. No. Oh, he was a nut. He ended up being a nut. Howard Hughes. Hughes. You know
Howard. The Spruce Goose.
Yeah, the Spruce Goose. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it seems like that. Like it'll never fly. And that's a little bit what it reminds me of. So, anyway, I just thought that I would drop that in here.
Yeah, instant is a McDonnell Douglas MD-80 flies overhead.
By the way, I'm never going to get him back on the show, folks. By the way, it's nicknamed the Roc, R-O-C, which is supposed to be a mythical eastern bird that supposedly was so big it can carry an elephant in its claws. Now, there's you a vision. I tell you right now, anyway. Well, we got our dose coming up.
Yeah, stay tuned. Don't miss it.
Yeah, the Hey Techies Show. We shall be right back.
You've listened this long, so stick around for our dose.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. European leaders say they are not interested in reopening negotiations with the U.S. over climate change. NPR's Scott Horsley reports leaders of Germany, France, and Italy responded after President Trump announced his decision to pull out of the Paris Climate Accord.
European leaders expressed regret at Trump's decision, but brushed aside his offer to go back to the bargaining table. We firmly believe the Paris Agreement cannot be renegotiated, the leaders said in a joint statement, since it's a vital instrument for our planet, societies, and economies. Although the Paris commitments are non-binding, Trump argues they put the U.S. at a competitive disadvantage.
I was elected to represent the citizens of Pittsburgh, not Paris.
Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto pushed back, saying his city will continue to follow the Paris Agreement for its people, its economy, and its future. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
Former FBI Director James Comey is scheduled to testify on June 8th before the Senate Intelligence Committee investigating Russian activities during last year's election. Committee announcing today Comey will testify both in an open session and at a closed-door session after that. According to the committee's Republican chair and a senior Democrat, members want to hear from Comey regarding his previous assessment that Russia interfered in last year's election. Congressional Democrats want President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, to provide details about his company's use of the EB-5 visa program NPR's Jim Zarroli reports the program gives visas to foreigners willing to invest in projects that provide U.S. jobs.
The letter was sent to Kushner's company by Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy, who sits on the Judiciary Committee, and 2 members of the House Judiciary Committee. The letter notes that the company has used the EB-5 program to lure investors. It asks for details about which of the Kushner properties have benefited from the program and what role the Kushners have played in efforts to prevent reform of the program. Kushner's sister generated controversy recently when she traveled to China to seek investors for a Kushner development in New Jersey and told them the project was important to her entire family. A spokesman for the Kushner company could not be reached for comment. Jim Zarroli, NPR News, New York.
The head of France's cybersecurity agency says there is a risk of what he termed permanent war in cyberspace because of hacking attacks for espionage and fraud by states and criminals. In an interview with the Associated Press today, Jérôme Papard said that we're clearly getting closer to a state of war. Papard said there's also a problem given that there's a lack of commonly agreed-to rules governing cyberspace. France was hit by a document leak during its recent election, but is still looking to determine who may have been responsible. On Wall Street, stocks gained ground today. The Dow up 135 points to 21,144. The S&P 500 rose 18 points. You're listening to NPR.
Technologic.
Use it, break it, fix it, trash, change it, melt, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, lock it, fill it, scroll it, find it, view it, code it, jump and lock it, surf it.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show for our
Dose.
So glad to have everybody in tonight. And if you would like to be on the Hey Techie Show,
256-782-5600.
And that will get you in the line, and we'll be glad to talk to you. And you can hijack the show, I guess, talk about what you want to talk about.
Sure, yeah. Take over.
We'll be game for that tonight. But it's me, Michael, your in-studio host, and the adorable, lovable Guru, far away from home let's see. This was Studio A. We'll call that, I don't know, Studio H
for Hampton Inn.
For Hampton Inn. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, so again, Guru, if people are just tuning in, where can they catch us on the web?
It's heytechiesshow.com. And you can go there. You can send us an email from there. You can go to our Twitter account, tweet us. You can Facebook us through there. You can go to our YouTube channel. You can watch the live stream. All you're going to see is Michael tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not in studio. You can't see me. But there's a chat feature in the YouTube where you can actually chat with us live. And I've actually got that pulled up and I'm watching it. So if you want to interact with us via chat, please do so. Gives us a break, and we can talk about what you want to talk about.
That's right.
Not what we've got on our list.
Sure, absolutely. What's on our list?
Oh no, let's see. We got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we got a good bit. You've got a lot of rumors, and we'll be coming after the break.
Yeah.
After the break coming up, we'll be getting into the rumors, some things that Guru has found, and we will find out what's going on in the world of mostly Mac.
Here's something interesting.
What's that?
I think you put this out here, but I actually heard about this through a coworker. So Ethiopia has cut off the internet.
That's right.
And this is funny because somebody that I work with, I won't disclose names because I haven't got permission to, but somebody that they know is actually working in Ethiopia right now, and they're unable. They normally use the internet to communicate with this person because I mean, who doesn't these days?
Oh, I forgot about that.
So, but apparently, they were trying to figure out, and they did a quick little Google search, and apparently Ethiopia has shut off the internet.
That's correct.
To the entire country. The country is cut off the internet until at least June 8th, is what this article from Yahoo News. And then let me back up. And talking to this person, Ethiopia has shut the internet off before when there's different things going on. When
Correct.
and basically have done it to try to keep the people from being able to let the world know what's going on, because Ethiopia sometimes has a little bit of opportunity with our government. We'll just leave it at that. You can debate that. We're not going to get into that in the show. I know that's a different country. You got to respect that country for what it is. But they've done this before. But this is what's unique. They cut it off this time, not for protests or things they're trying to keep from the public eye, but they've cut it off to stop cheaters from posting high school exam papers on social media.
Which happened last time they took tests, apparently.
Apparently so. Hundreds of thousands of students will take tests throughout the Horn of Africa country, Ethiopia, with grade 10 exams taking place from May 31st until June 2nd, and grade 12 tests from June 5th to the 8th. And like you said, last year exams were widely posted online, prompting the government to reschedule the tests, which are the main public exams for 16 and 18-year-olds, to secure places at university and on vocational courses. So this is a really big deal for these students, because it's almost like the equivalent of the ACT that most of high school students take in the States to hopefully be admitted to the school of their choice, or to get scholarships to the schools that they want to attend to help, be able to continue their education beyond secondary school. So, yeah. So people were cheating by posting this stuff online. So the government just said, yeah, we're going to cut the internet off. So, very interesting.
According to this article that we have here, or I have, and it's actually from yahoo.com, but I think it's via Reuters in some way, shape, or form, had something to do with this. It is said here, a person by the name of Mohammed said only access to social media outlets was cut off, and that services such as airlines, bookings, and banking requiring internet access remained intact, according to this.
I did not know that. I thought they cut the whole internet
now
off.
Wait a minute. It could be. This is what someone says. It could be, fake news. No, it won't be fake news. But I'm not there, so I really don't know. Now, according a Reuters witness confirmed that Wi-Fi and cellular internet access has been cut off, but access at embassies and international organizations remain intact.
That may be fake news, partly because the person I referred to, they're working with an international organization, and their internet there's cut off.
Well, here we go.
But
Let's
apparently, I will add this. Apparently, I think that organization is trying to petition the government to allow them back on, because it's interfering with their ability to communicate.
Well, let's see if this fits
to their
here.
company.
Amnesty International slammed the disruption as an intent on stifling expression and free speech of information, according to them. So,
yeah, I mean, that is the case, and I'm not sure what the rights of citizens in Ethiopia have. I know you can't just assume what we as Americans.
I highly doubt they have many.
How that equates across the planet, But,
yeah.
I mean, I understand what they're trying to do to prevent cheating, because you need to preserve the integrity of the exams, because I know there's been cases in the past where people have cheated on the ACT exams in the States, and that can hurt everybody who takes the exam.
Exactly.
Because you want to make sure it's the true potential or true knowledge of that student.
Yeah.
They've had to not equate, but go to the level like with ACT exams to be admitted. You have to send them a picture ahead of time, and it's on your admission ticket to the exam. I mean, it's just the measures they have to go through now. At least with ACT, I can't speak for what they're having to go through, but I know I've proctored a couple of ACT exams in the past, and it's the great lengths that they've tried to do to preserve the integrity of the exam. So, I mean, you have to do that. I mean, regardless, and I mean, it's just something that they are posting on social media, and the government said, "We'll fix that. We'll just shut it off."
Well, speaking of internet things, and this is loosely related to this, but not really. A UAV, apparently, in Denver has delivered donuts in an event. By the way, it was Lamar's Donuts. They hired a Texas-based company, Drone Dispatch, or rather UAV. They delivered boxes of donuts. And let's see, they delivered I think they delivered like to the mayor, the police, and the fire department. Shocking that they delivered to the police. I know that's shocking.
That's like the first place. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on law enforcement.
No, but
I respect our law enforcement.
No,
but,
it's not a making fun of law. It's just it's a stereotype. It's just ironic that they chose
it is a stereotype,
the police to
like,
send
like,
donuts
to. Let's send them to the law enforcement first.
Yeah.
Which, hey, they deserve it because they did not get paid enough. Any of our first responders and public, servants. So I'm glad that they got it. That's kind of cool because, like I said, we were the first to get drone delivery of donuts. You got that?
Did you know this? I did not know this.
What's that?
National Donut Day is celebrated the first Friday of every June.
That's right. It is the first Friday of every June. That's tomorrow. National Donut Day.
Seriously? I'd never heard of such.
The peanut gallery here with me is like, we're going to get donuts tomorrow, and I agree.
No.
I will post something on my Twitter account.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what my Twitter account is for Hey Techies, just go to heytechieshow.com and you'll find it there.
Donut delivered by drone. Denver, Colorado. There you go. You can get Lamar's Donuts, by the way.
What now?
Lamar's. I think there was one here for a while.
Yeah, there was. I think it closed down, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, go to any donut place. There's plenty of them. I know there'll be one at the airport tomorrow, so I'll have to indulge myself in a donut, at least one, maybe more than one.
Now I'm guessing this is.
I won't be having I won't have a drone delivery because drones and airports usually don't mix. Unfortunately.
No, Lamar's spokesman, Tammy, I assume it's a lady, she said the FAA regulations, and we know this already, prohibit commercial drone pilots from losing sight of drones. Now, that makes me wonder how far this really went. Because they really don't say.
It's almost like a publicity stunt.
Oh, it is.
What comes to mind is they were just like right down the street, and they could still see the drones. Like, oh, look.
Okay, here we go. It was within a block. So they went from a parking lot within a block. So that, this is really a lot about nothing. I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun tech story, I guess. But come on. It's just not like this really delivering donuts as a business model.
Yeah.
Unless you lived one block from the store and they could see you. Is there something I don't know about going on over there, Guru?
Well, I'm trying to turn the TV on, and I can't get it to be quiet. There. I'm sorry. That's a little making of the sausage there. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, the Hey Techie Show will be right back after this quick patron break.
The Hey Techie Show, where there's no data caps none of the time.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
Our love was out to get me.
Good song pick, Michael.
That's the way it seemed.
There is no telling how long this playlist was ago, because I forgot when we stopped using this, but that was the playlist from a long time ago. I didn't really have time to fool with the music, so it was a pretty good selection, so I just left it as is.
Well, I won't give you credit, whether credit is due or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing pretty good here, I think. I don't want to jinx myself, but getting these breaks and going, I try to get myself close proximity with all this. So anyway,
I think we all make it look easy on the radio, and it is not. I mean, it's a lot going on. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I want to get this story in real quick before we open up to.
Okay.
I want to get a couple things here. You've been hearing a lot about the climate deal, and you've been hearing a lot about the Paris Climate Treaty, and there's all kind of people, saying, pardon me, that Trump's crazy, he's doing the wrong thing, blah, blah, blah. And I just want to say, from Michael's opinion, look, first of all, I guess I just don't believe it. But anyway, beyond that point, forget that point. He believes, that is Donald Trump, believes that this deal is not a level playing field. For instance, in the deal, China has to pretty much do nothing for years. They don't have to clean up diddly squat. Now, that's not right. If we're going to have to change our economy, and trust me, folks, this has nothing to do with cleaning the planet. If you believe that, that's your business. But I'm telling you, it has everything to do with attack on capitalism. Plain and simple. You can believe whatever you want to. I'm just saying my opinion. I just don't believe. I promise you. But listen to this. This is from Sputnik News, whether you believe this news article or not. And this is probably not in the show notes. I just ran across it. Sorry, I'll put it out there. It says the world's first commercial CO2 capture plant opens in Switzerland.
Okay.
Now, they're going to try to capture this, but I just wanted you to think about this for just a second. Go outside when you get time. Go outside your house and just think for a second how much space there is that's not on your property. Meaning, there's a volume of air that goes way beyond your property. Okay? The air flows into your land. We don't control that. Just think of this, though. The company plans to install additional 250,000 DAC plants in order, this is just fascinating, to meet its goal of capturing 1% of global 1% of global annual carbon dioxide by 2025. 1%.
By 2025.
Can you imagine how much it does not say how much one of these plants cost. It does not say. And that, to me, that tells me all I need to know of what this is about. They did not put in here in this article of what the plant costs to build and have.
It's going to take a 1%er's budget to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think you can do that. You'd have to get all of their money, maybe. I mean, I can't swear to this. They're predicting that this, and we don't even know this. Look, they're predicting that this is essential, given the climate scientists predict 2 degrees Celsius increase in the next 22 years. And there's no way they can actually predict that. They can come up with all these models, but they're just guesses, people. Just guesses. Okay? The Climate Works claim it can supply 900 metric tons of captured carbon annually, equivalent to the annual volume of greenhouse gases supposedly emitted by 190 passenger vehicles. Do you know that a small town has 190 vehicles? I mean, a really small town.
A very, very, very small town.
Probably more. Much more at any one given time. I mean, I'm sorry.
There's more than 190 vehicles at the typical Walmart at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. This is asinine. I mean, according to this article, Gary, is powered by heat from the incinerator, the collector uses fans to suck ambient air and filters, then absorbs the CO2. So it's comprised apparently of several shipping containers and carbon collectors. Huh. Anyway,
Anyway, moving on.
I just think it's fascinating. What we're going to, what lengths we're going to believe this is what I'm saying. That's my point. I know people could disagree, fine and dandy. Whatever. This just doesn't make common sense. Just put common sense in it. It doesn't make common sense. 250,000 of these things. Let's just say, okay, forget anything else. Let's just say that these places take up, I don't know how big they are, but let's just say they take up I don't know, a normal building size. Oh, your home, a normal home. Let's say they take up the size of a 1,200 square foot home. 250,000 of them it's going to take to meet their goal. That's a lot of places.
And that's not reducing it by, in the grand scheme of things, not reducing it by much.
No. Well, anyway, okay. As Guru said, enough of that. But I just find it fascinating.
Moving on.
I find it fascinating. I find this whole thing, I think if you just want to really look, you will find the bottom line if you want to dig hard enough. And that's my point. You can get on the internet and you can dig and you can actually find a lot more than you're hearing in the media. You can learn a little bit more and sort of educate yourself on where all this is coming from. And if you use common sense, it doesn't make any. That's Michael's 2 cents for tonight, I guess.
Just because on the internet it's not necessarily true.
No, I agree with that. But I'm coming on news stories. I'm not saying
if it's vetted and it's a reliable source of information.
Yeah, I understand that. I realize that. Unfortunately, we don't have the fake news. I know he would have played it if he had it right here.
Yeah, I could play it, but it wouldn't come across good. So we'll just skip it. Just use your imagination.
You use your imagination.
That's right.
Guru's going to have to pull up his rumors.
I'm already there.
Oh, he's ready. He was just waiting for me to shut up. Michael, shut up.
Be quiet, Michael.
It's sort of like that old football thing. Shut up, John. All right, Guru.
All right.
What you got for me?
Yeah, we teased this earlier. So we talked about the Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference is this coming week, and there are a ton of rumors ahead of it. And it's not about like what's the next cool thing they're going to put in the Apple developer toolbox of they can make better apps or something. This is like hardware releases. Apple, like we said earlier, they've turned WWDCs, especially the first day's like keynote presentation into a platform where they can release products. They've done it in the past. It looks like they're going to do it again. So you ready? Strap in. Here we go.
There we go.
So the first one here is an article from Mac Rumors. I think these are all from Mac Rumors. Well, one's from another one. But anyway.
Shocking.
So we talked about this before, but apparently the rumored Siri speaker that we talked about a few weeks ago is already in production ahead of a possible WWDC debut. So this speaker, the Siri smart speaker, which is going to compete with the Amazon Echoes of the world, and the Google Home, apparently is already in production. Citing sources familiar with the matter, quote, Bloomberg says that production has already started on the speaker, but it is not expected to be ready to ship until later in the year. Still, Apple could introduce the speaker at WWDC, which kicks off next Monday. And I could see that happening because in order to make use of this Siri speaker in terms of a developer, they're going to have to expose certain APIs. I'm not trying to be too technical there, but they expose certain tool sets for the developers to use. So it'll be more than just Apple native functionality. We can say, hey, you can do this with Siri speaker, blah, 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 blah. So I could see them announcing it. I think that's pretty pretty reliable at this point. We'll know this time next week, but I think that could possibly happen. So what say you, Michael?
A speaker, and this is supposed to be Siri, right?
Yeah, it's just like the Google Home
Yeah,
and
right.
Amazon Echo. It's just Apple's take on it, using Siri, which is their voice
I get it.
recognition digital
I'm just trying to
assistant.
think of. I'm just trying to think of if it would be any better.
I'm just not sold on these little speakers. I'm sorry. But, well, I mean, of course, everybody else is doing it. Apple's got to do it, or I got to keep up with the Joneses kind of thing. So,
Well, yeah, I get that.
And some of the we'll put this in the show notes. There was a picture of a possible rendering of it. It looks like it kind of similarly. I can't speak tonight. Similarly shaped like the trash can Mac Pro. So that's not a good sign because that's one of Apple's worst computers.
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well,
there's.
I'm not a fan.
I'm going to say a rumor that there may be a Mac Pro of some type. They may come.
I don't have a rumor per se of that, but
I'm just
saying
saying.
Well overdue. It's well overdue.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do that. And another thing. I don't want to. I better not call it dead. I don't want to do that. But if they don't have anything this time, it's long in the tooth for that box, and
you're absolutely right.
You probably be 5 years, at least.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact age, but
I'm thinking it's at least 5 years, and that's a long time for a Mac product. I mean, they go a while, but still, a refresher in 5 years. That product doesn't sound hopeful, but we'll see. Sometimes they shock us on that.
Yeah.
And of course,
go ahead.
What you got next?
Okay, the next one. This is another WWDC rumor, and I don't know about this one, but apparently, if people read in the tea leaves and see what's going on, and they file patents and do different things. Well, in this case, 5 days ahead of Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, the French website Consamac has discovered a new Russian-language regulatory filing in the Eurasian Economic Commission database. So what's so important about that? Well, the filing points to at least 5 new models of MacBooks running the macOS Sierra that's launching soon.
Okay.
According to the filing, the new Macs are identified only by model numbers A1289, A1347, A1418, A1419, and A1481. That's all it's in the entry to that database,
gotcha.
To that filing.
Right.
But according to what Mac Rumors is saying, it's likely to be new 13 and 15-inch MacBook Pros alongside a new 12-inch MacBook. With the outside chance of a new upgraded MacBook Air also in that group.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know how it's tied to WWDC, so they put WWDC in the title. So, we'll see. That's just one of those, we'll throw it out there.
Also, according to that, just a little added information here.
Sure.
After, MacBook Pro was updated refreshed back in October, that was 527 days up to that point without being updated.
Wow. That's long for the Apple product cycle.
And so, let's see, 220 days will have passed if Apple launches new MacBook Pro models on June 5th. So the newest one's 220. But that's I don't know about that. That's sketchy because they usually go longer than that on those products. So it would be interesting to see.
Yeah, 220 is kind of short, but I don't think that one's as true as the Siri speaker.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's Guru's opinion. If you want my opinion, there it is. So I have one more WWDC related rumor, and this one was actually shared by someone in the peanut gallery over here. I'll just leave them at that. They want to remain nameless, and I've invited them to be on the show before as a co-host, and they chose not to. But that's okay. We appreciate our listeners, whether they're.
You don't sound bitter, not at all.
No, I'm not bitter at all. Absolutely not. But this is a good rumor. So apparently, there's a rumor pointing to a possible release of a 10.5-inch iPad Pro this month, as in, well, that was a March 2017 article. Excuse me, that's the wrong article. Sorry, there was an article in 9 to 5 Mac that was released this past week that the there was some iPad Pro cases that were leaked that point to this 10.5-inch iPad Pro actually coming out very soon. This case was manufactured by Pelican. But here's the interesting thing, not just a 10.5-inch iPad Pro. Right now we have like a 9.7-inch and a 12-inch iPad Pro. This is kind of a middle-sized screen, but according to what this article from 9 to 5 Mac is saying, it's going to be a 10.5-inch screen, but it's going to be the same form factor as a 9.7-inch iPad Pro, the smaller iPad Pro. So basically, that would mean the bezel or that space around the screen is going to be a lot thinner. So it's going to be more screen covering the front of the device. So very interesting. There's some pictures here in this 9 to 5 Mac article that you can look at. We'll definitely put this in the show notes. So we'll see. So, I mean, if there's cases being leaked, that's a point to a sign it's coming soon, because usually you want those cases to coincide with the release, especially when you're spending that kind of money on an iPad Pro, because those are not cheap devices.
No. No, that's true. It'd be interesting to see about the iPad. I would expect that before this other Mac stuff. But
the mobile devices seem to they're on a more frequent refresh cycle for a very good reason. There's a lot of competition in the mobile space,
right?
And they want to capitalize on that holiday season traffic. So you basically got till this fall to get something out the door, or you're gonna miss the boat for the holiday
season. Now I don't know about that one, but some of their other devices, the price point's better, so people can more handle the sticker shock of buying a Mac product. Not necessarily the Mac Pro, but some of the other models.
Right, yeah, I mean, in terms of just general price, an iPad is typically
it's not the same product. Cheaper. Don't misunderstand. I'm not suggesting that at all. No. I'm just saying the price point, if you got to decide on what to get the kid or whatever,
Right, it's more palatable to the wallet.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Versus buy a $300 or $400 iPad or buy a $2,000 MacBook.
Right.
I mean, two different devices, two different use cases, but for your typical person, I think a tablet is still a very popular device.
Sure. So
we talked about in the classroom, maybe not necessarily, but just for casual browsing.
Right. Yeah. So did you cover that? I don't think you. What was this iPhone 8?
Yeah, I have one more. Those were WWDC kind of
correct.
Rumors.
Right.
This is more of just a general rumor, but this is more about the iPhone 8. We've talked about this on the show before, but this article has some renders that offer some direct size comparisons to the previous iteration iPhone, the iPhone 7, and the Galaxy S8, which is one of the latest Android devices. So you'll have to look at the pictures in the show notes, because this is a radio show. I can't really describe it that well, but these alleged iPhone 8 leaks have been coming in steadily over the last few weeks, different schematics and case designs, blah, 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 blah. But many of them have been, many of the leaks we've been tracking a few days from Mac Rumors. They've offered very little details, but this actually shows some size comparisons to the iPhone 7 versus the S8 versus the iPhone 8. And I'm trying to look at these pictures myself, but it's a lot of rumor and speculation. But the last rumor of the so-called iPhone 8 came last week, when it was reported that an Apple supplier confirmed the integrated Touch ID fingerprint resolution to the OLED display. So apparently they've got that figured out, and what that's going to do, it's going to be more like the S8, where it's going that screen will cover the whole front of the device. Top to bottom, left to right. And I think it's about time for Apple to go there. They've got to do something, because again, Android has been kind of driving that design and that bleeding edge with those innovative designs, and Apple has been struggling to catch up in that regard. So it's time for them to get there. So, but again, Apple, they're not going to release it until it's Apple's way. But it looks like they may have the Touch ID fingerprint reader in the screen built in, and as far as I'm aware, that's not in any Android device yet. Am I correct in that assumption?
I don't think so. I think
most of the time it's on the back of the Android device. Yeah.
That's correct.
So that would be an innovation in the mobile market if they've actually pulled this off. And we'll see, as the time comes, because the rumors are still pointing to a fall release for new iPhones.
Right. We've said it here before, and my wife has an S8, as a matter of fact, Samsung. And we've said it here before, there was a rumor that they wanted to put theirs in the front but never could work that out. And
Right, yeah, we talked about that.
That's another reason why they claim, and I don't know if it's true, that it's offset on the back. Who knows? But so we'll see if they have worked this out. Be interesting.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. It'd
Yeah.
be interesting because by this fall I will be in that zone where I've had a phone nearly 3 years and my battery is struggling at times to make it all day. So, yeah, I'm going to be in the market for a phone by then. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with and see if the Guru pulls the trigger on the latest and greatest.
You know,
We'll see.
I don't know if they're going to. I wonder if they'll debut this Monday.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think this is going to be fall.
Yeah, that's
if,
usually
if they can. It's like how we twist technology into stuff like aviation and NASCAR and other
correct.
things. They've got to figure out how to twist a product release back to the developer audience that this conference
Correct.
is for. And a series speaker, I can definitely see that because they may want to release a tool set to them immediately. So once that product goes to market, you know, your apps will integrate with it because otherwise you've got a nice little speaker that does very little.
Yeah. Well,
So, we'll see.
I'll be interested to hear Tim's take on the sale of what sales have been like for the Apple TV.
Yeah,
I haven't looked that up lately, but
I haven't either. But yeah, he'll definitely get up there and
usually give the
cover some of
rundown.
that stuff. Yes.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. So I think the event is 10 a.m. Pacific on Monday. I saw
Correct.
it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Apple does. I think they've been live streaming these. If
The
not,
last couple.
Go ahead.
The last couple of years, you could stream that on an Apple TV, a Macintosh computer with Safari, and an iOS device, and, ironically, Edge browser in Windows.
Edge. Well,
Yes.
they didn't leave the Microsoft audience out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it has something to do with media rights, being able to. I think I should know this exactly, but I don't. But it has something to do with them being able to read that type of media in the Edge browser. I don't think the others get to decode.
Whatever codecs they're using. For
Yes, the
streaming
codec.
video.
Yes.
Yeah. 10 a.m. Pacific, which for Central Time, that'll be 8 a.m., right? No, 12. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
counting the wrong direction.
Yeah, you're
12
going the wrong
p.m.
direction.
Central.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Should be live streamed apple.com, or one place that I used to always go to before the live streams was Mac Rumors.
Right.
They always live blog.
Right. Sure.
So if you're not where you can watch streaming video, you can pull up the live blog. I'll call Mac Rumors, 9 to 5 Mac, and these other sites. So
And I'm sure some other places like Tech TV or Twit, I should say Twit.tv, sorry, will be covering it, but they'll also have commentary during the show. So if you want to hear it uncommentaried, you'll have to go get it directly from the source.
yeah. It'd be cool for us to be able to do one of those.
Oh, sure, it would
like a
be.
commentary. That would be neat.
It would be. I don't know if we could ever pull that off,
yeah.
but yeah, it usually during the day, so that's going to be tough for us.
Yeah, it is. But one thing I can guarantee you is if you tune in to Hey Techies next week,
Yeah.
it'll
Hopefully
be discussed.
Bruce will be able to survive it. I don't know.
Bruce will just tune
He
you
may
out.
not
You need to
show up that night for the very reason. Oh, I lost Guru. Oh, there he's back. You froze for a minute there,
I'm back.
Guru. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, the internet's not cooperating. Sorry.
Oh, is your device still charging over there?
Let's see. Yes, it is. 59 minutes to a full charge.
Well, there we go. All right. I had something right here interesting. For those of you, and I'm sure there's not many listening, but hey, you never know. For those of you in the Michigan area, get ready. Apparently, for this article, the Army will test fully self-driving trucks on Blue Water Bridge. Now, I don't know where that's at exactly, but apparently it's a stretch of Michigan highway. And let's see. There's not much to this article, unfortunately. So, but just heads up.
Heads up, folks. Be aware.
Yeah. They're going to be testing on, I guess, autonomous vehicle on the highway. And they'll put the link in the show notes. There's a video. I'd rather them just type up what they want to say. I like to read it. But unfortunately, you don't get that every time. Army is ready to move to the next level, according to this. For the past year, convoys have been moving down the connected stretch, testing the technology. Well, apparently, the past year. Well, which is it? I guess they're fully now. Maybe they're going to. Maybe what they're saying here is they're not going to have anybody in the driver's seat. Yeah, fully automated, with safety drivers on board. Huh.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I don't know about that one. Well, you're clicking away there.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm doing double duty while I'm listening.
Yeah.
I was hoping that wasn't coming through on the radio.
Just another, because I need a fill here just a second. By the way, Amazon, apparently, Guru, is going to open grocery pickup kiosk. They're going to
really?
Yeah, they're trying to rival Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
This is an article from
Walmart and Amazon are just battling it out. Last
Bloomberg. An article from Bloomberg. Apparently, Amazon is trying to get at Walmart with the grocery business. And we've talked about that a little bit from time to time. Well, man, this show, it's dwindling.
I know. It's about over. Man. Goes by faster when you're not in studio.
Yeah. Especially when you're going to get to go where you're going. Wherever that is. Well, the Hey Techies Show will be right back.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
This is 91.9 FM, WLJS Jacksonville, your cure for common radio.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show.
Hey, brother, what you thinking? Leave that on record stand.
Well,
song choice.
Yeah, I think that's one of Bruce's.
Yeah, it sounds like a Bruce pick.
Yeah, he likes that one. So, well,
I could picture in his mind him over there dancing in the corner.
Sure.
Anyway.
Well, I tell you what, I have, because Bruce was not able to be here, I have been left holding the bag one more time. So
yes, you have.
I take this time to turn the show over to the, in locations unknown,
Studio H,
to the Guru for this week in Tech History.
Yep. So, you're holding the bag this week because Bruce is not with us, so you've got to guess. And you have nobody else in the studio to help you guess. I guess we could ask the Peanut Gallery if they wanted to answer, but they've put their headphones in and they've tuned me out. So it's up to you, Michael. You ready?
Oh, my goodness. I have no clue.
Well, I tried to make this easy for you because I knew that Bruce was not going to be here, and I didn't want to. I wanted to save more difficult subject matter for the Professor Bruce himself.
Yeah, that's nice of you.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. I'll appreciate that in my paycheck. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
So you ready for your date?
I guess.
All right. Your date is May 29th, 1992. And we don't have music tonight. Sorry, folks.
Oh, that's right. Dun,
Do,
dun,
do,
dun,
do,
dun, dun.
do.
You sure this isn't one you've done before?
I don't know. Have I?
I don't know.
I neither can confirm nor deny.
You can't confirm nor deny.
That's right.
You know,
Because I don't know.
I want to say that this has got something to do with an Apple product that was released. That's where I'm sort of.
There wasn't much coming out of the Microsoft camp during the early 90s.
No, that's good.
For sure.
That's a good point.
So process elimination,
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that old Fig Newton had something to do with this.
And you would be absolutely correct. Apple's CEO at the time, John Scully, at the Consumer Electronics Show in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that? It's been in Vegas so long we forgot about it. It used to be other places. Anyway, on this date, May 29th, 92, he first announced the coming release of the Newton Personal Digital Assistant to a group of reporters, explaining that the Newton, quote, is nothing less than a revolution, end quote.
There you go.
Although there was not a fully functioning prototype available, the Newton technology is demonstrated, including how to order a pizza by moving icons onto a pie and then faxing the order from the device. Faxing it from the device. This shows how far we've come. But yeah, I mean, the Newton was, one of those very first, if not the first, the PDA, the Personal Digital Assistant, which was a predecessor to the smartphone.
Right.
So there you go. The Newton's release was actually delayed till August of '93, according to this article here.
Huh.
So anyway, and unfortunately in 1998 it was discontinued by Steve Jobs.
Right.
Probably they were working on the iPhone back then. I don't know. But anyway, that's just my guess. But yeah, so good job, Michael. Good job. Pat yourself on the back.
Okay. All right.
He is patting himself on the back.
Patting myself on the back. Yeah. Right. Sure.
So I told you I'd make it easy for you.
The Newton.
That's right. I should have found a National Donut Day tech article.
National Donut Day tech article. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about it being National Donut Day.
Well, I don't think I've ever known because I'm not a big.
Get everybody go buy
not a big donut eater.
I'm not either, but
I don't know about that.
But everybody go get you a donut tomorrow. Support local business.
Yeah. Hey, I got this article here, the warp.com. Did you know that the Justice Department is sued over FBI-trained Geek Squad spies? Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah, this is an article on May 31st by Susan Seeger. Apparently, the Justice Department was sued Wednesday by a privacy group seeking information on the FBI recruitment of Best Buy employees to search consumer computers for child pornography during repairs. According to court documents, in a case that is in Santa Ana, California, and of course the EFF filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against Trump administration Justice Department. They had to put that in there.
Of course.
I mean, they've never filed against the Obama
administration. They wouldn't say Obama administration Justice Department. I'm sorry.
Demanding access to records about any FBI training and payment to Geek Squad workers, apparently to search the computers without a court warrant. So basically what they're saying is, hey, these were not just happenstance of some citizen that happened to see something. You paid them and trained them, according to these court documents, and basically gave them an inroad in a way to how to get what they were looking for. And so really they were agents of the FBI, so they should have had a search warrant.
I mean, you can look at it that way, definitely. I mean,
the EFF is concerned that the FBI may be violating the constitutional requirement that law enforcement agencies obtain a judge-approved search warrant. According to this, the public has a right to know how the FBI uses computer repair technicians to carry out searches the agents themselves cannot do without a warrant.
Yep. I mean, it's a slippery slope there when you're allegedly paying these people to do your dirty work when you don't have proper, authorization through the court system to do it.
Now, the FBI has refused to provide any information regarding this. And according to this article, court documents in federal court in Santa Ana, California, argue that the FBI has launched a program of training and paying Geek Squad employees to look for child pornography on customers' computers sent in for repairs. So this is not, from what I'm gathering, this is not you're going to somebody's home. This apparently appears equipment brought in for them to work on, and they supposedly see.
Yeah, like you bring your computer in to the Geek Squad, and while they're diagnosing and fixing your computer, they're also doing this other work.
Now, Best Buy does admit that some employees were paid by the FBI.
Oh,
so some of this,
like the smoking gun, basically.
Yeah. So, anyway. You got something, Guru?
Well,
we got to come up with something. We got 6 minutes here, man.
I know. I think we covered most of what I brought. To
I see.
table.
So I'm going to. I see how this works. Okay. Let's see what. Let's see what else.
Let's talk about donuts some more. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
The tech behind how to make a donut. No.
Yeah. Did you know that Uber apparently is posted a $708 million loss, and the financial head is leaving?
I think I saw this somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But what's interesting about this article?
Okay.
And I think you have to get into the weeds here to really understand it. The $708 million is actually narrower or less than the $991 million that they reported 3 months earlier. So they actually have reporting a lower loss.
We're still losing money, but we're losing less.
Actually, what's interesting, they say they have $7.2 billion of cash on hand.
What? Really?
Yes, what it says.
Man, that's a lot of money.
It says they've raised
I wouldn't have never expected.
That's
Uber to
what
have
the
that much
article
cash.
says. Said they've raised some $15 billion in equity and debt funding, and have $7.2 billion of cash on hand.
Okay.
But apparently, that's about the same it had in the end of last year. So it's not really increasing or growing, so to speak. They've been in trouble for all kind of reasons. They have had. Allegedly, they've had this situation where they've been investigated about sexual harassment. They've had paying their driver issues. It's on and on and on.
Yeah, and then they've had to fight regulation and the taxi drivers. I mean, not literally fight them, but like the unions and stuff that represent taxi drivers, because Uber's coming here trying to undercut them, and they're of course not. They don't like that. So Uber's had a tough hill to climb, and I mean, I'm a satisfied user of Uber, and today I just used Lyft for the first time, and I actually enjoyed it. It was a good experience for me.
What's the major difference you think in Uber and Lyft that you've experienced?
Based on my experiences, Lyft. And this just may just be the two drivers I've had with Lyft compared to my Uber drivers I've experienced. The Lyft drivers were very friendly.
Yeah.
And another person told me the same thing before I started using Lyft. So I'm not saying I'm influenced, but I agree with that statement. But the Lyft app allows you at the end of the ride, you can rate your driver
Right,
like you can in
exactly.
Uber, but you can also tip the driver through the app.
Okay.
Something that you cannot do through Uber. And apparently, I think Uber supposedly there's gratuity built into their fare, they say, but then some drivers, they'll put a little sign in their car, gratuities are appreciated. And I always try to give a gratuity. With the Uber driver, I started just giving them cash at the end of the ride, especially if I had luggage. I want to tip them a little extra because they're more than willing to help you unload and load your luggage. But I really liked in the Uber app, once you got done with the ride, there was no
Gotcha.
feeling guilty to have to be standing there giving cash to a driver, or if you didn't feel
Right.
like he deserved much and you didn't want to give much and but you can kind of handle it through the app. And it suggested $1, $2, $3, $5, or any amount. You can pick an amount. So, that's one feature that I like. And I've had very little experience with Lyft, but based on my experience with both, I mean, I would use both.
Okay.
The reason I used Lyft is I had some 2 free rides.
Oh, there we go.
Up to $10, and the rides I did, they were more than $10. I had to pay some money out, but I mean, hey, that's an incentive to try it.
That always works, right?
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Did you know that Google is unveiling plans? They're building a 11-story building in the UK, but it is what they call a ground scraper. Yes, because it's longer than it is tall. It's as long as the shard. Shard is tall, apparently. And has a 300-meter-plus footprint.
Wow, that's pretty big.
They're supposed to start in 2018, and they're hoping to house 7,000 Googlers eventually. But this thing is huge, and it's planned for the area of King's Cross in London. Of course, I've never been there.
I have not either.
870,000 square feet. It's supposed to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's going to have a 300-meter-long landscape roof terrace with fields and gardens and meadows.
Fields and gardens and meadows.
By the way, there's
nice, warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah. There's also a cafe in there where the food and drinks are complimentary.
Oh,
and there's sleep pods for naps in case you need a nap.
Oh.
What about that, Guru? You need a nap?
Yeah. Usually after lunch, you need you want a 15, 20, 30-minute little power nap,
Well, Guru, it's about time to wrap it up.
Man, it went by too quick.
Yeah, the Hey Techie Show has come to an end. But we appreciate you listening. So,
Thanks
Guru, you have a safe trip, buddy. From all of us to all of you, have a great weekend.
See ya.
The Hey Techies Show is produced by The Guru and co-produced by Mike Stedham. Join us again next time for another exciting installment of The Hey Techies Show. It's going to be great, maybe.